You guys should definitely be looking forward to today's episode because today I go back to my roots and I build with only base game. Welcome back to episode 4 of Curb Appeal. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another episode of Curb Appeal, the series on my channel where I build amazing exteriors using a reference photo that I find from either Pinterest or Google Images or Tumblr or even you guys. So my name is Ashley for those of you who have not met me yet, and I make Sims 4 videos on my YouTube channel, so you should go check them all out. And today's episode is super exciting because I'm going back to my channel's roots and I am only building with base game today. So if you guys have been around for a while, you know that I started my channel pretty much only building base game every Monday, and slowly I've been trying to incorporate new packs into my builds, slowly I guess. But today I thought I would challenge myself a little bit and build with only base game because as you guys know, I think that you can build amazing houses with only the base game. But anyways, you guys, if you have been enjoying this series or you're looking forward to today's base game episode, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And without further ado, let's jump right into the photo that we are going to be recreating today. Okay, you guys, so here's today's photo that we are going to be recreating using only the base game. So we have to definitely make sure that everything in this photo can be accomplished using only the base game and no packs whatsoever. So one thing I do want to mention about this photo is it does appear to be a little bit edited. So as you can see, the background, the kind of sunset sky area, that is definitely probably edited or enhanced a little bit to make it look a little bit prettier. And you can definitely tell that that adds to the overall attractiveness of the photo. If that background wasn't there, the photo might not actually look as nice as it does. So we definitely have to make sure that we are looking at the house itself and not letting the background influence us a little bit, because it does look like they oversaturated the background to make the sunset look prettier. So that's what I mean when I've been talking about it in my past couple episodes. You don't want to find a photo that is too overly edited. Otherwise, when you go to recreate it, it might not turn out as nice as you think it will. But luckily, I think that this house actually has a lot of aspects to it that make the house really beautiful despite the edited background. So the first thing about this photo that kind of jumped out to me was the fact that it was kind of a plain off-white color, and I definitely knew that we had that type of paneling in the base game, so we would be able to recreate the exterior texture and paint of this house. And even though it's just a plain all-white house, what makes it really interesting are the windows with those colorful shutters. So the shutters are kind of like a cool teal color, and I definitely know that we have those exact windows and maybe even that exact color in the base game. So that definitely made me really excited because I knew we could recreate that really easily. The other little things that kind of caught my eye were things like the pillars or the columns on the front of the house. It definitely adds a lot of character to the home and makes it feel a little bit more grand. And also that kind of a black metal fence at the front of the house. I thought that added a cool little touch and it was a little bit unexpected for the home. And I knew that we had a fence that looked exactly like that in the base game, so that definitely made me really happy. So after looking at all of the different parts of this photograph, I think we can confidently say that all of the aspects of this house are actually achievable using only the base game. And I think that even though it's just a plain white house, there are a lot of different unexpected touches here and there that really make the house interesting. The teal shutters and also the pillars, the black metal fence, and also the hint of brick that we see, and also the really interesting looking roofing. It all adds to the house to make it look super beautiful and gives the house a ton of curb appeal. So I am super excited to get started on this house and use only the base game to build this entire thing. I was a little bit skeptical about only using base game before, but after analyzing the photo, you guys, I think that we are gonna blow this one out of the water and it's gonna be super easy. But of course, we cannot make it too easy on ourselves, so we are gonna be giving ourselves a really strict budget to completely recreate the entire exterior and do the landscaping. And that budget is gonna be, again, you guessed it, 20,000 simoleons. So we've been giving ourselves a budget of 20,000 simoleons for pretty much all of the episodes so far, so we are going to stick to that. I think it's a pretty fair budget. Definitely gives us a lot of room to do the things that we want, but also makes it challenging. But you guys, wish me luck on today's recreation. Let's get started. Okay, you guys, welcome to today's recreation, and it feels really good to be building base game again. I don't know why. But I guess I'm just kind of attached to building base game only because I've built with only the base game for so long that I'm actually really used to it, and I know the items in base game super, super well. I don't know, it just feels like I'm at home when I'm building base game only, and when I have too many packs, it feels a little bit overwhelming. So I definitely like to incorporate packs slowly into my builds so that I can really get to know the objects really well. So I think that base game is something that I'm pretty good at because I've been doing it for so long. So today's recreation did actually turn out pretty well. What I did struggle with a little bit was the spacing, because you know how sometimes windows will take up 2 squares and sometimes the windows will only take up 1 square, or sometimes they'll take up 3 squares, and then when you're placing the door, sometimes a door takes up 1 square, but then sometimes a door takes up 2 squares. So when you're trying to center things and you're trying to center windows on top of the door and around the door, sometimes the spacing gets a little wonky. So that's something that I had to play around a little bit more with in this episode, which is still good. I mean, it was definitely a little bit more challenging, but I think that I got the spacing how I liked it in the end, and it looked like how I wanted it. So that's why it is important to kind of place the windows and the doors down as you go to make sure that the spacing is correct, and not just freehand draw the walls and the exterior and then just slap on the windows and the doors afterwards and hope that the spacing works out, because usually it might not. So it is important to place the doors and the windows down as soon as possible as you're building to make sure that it is looking good as you're doing it. And something that was super cool that I liked about this build was the kind of driveway-ish part on the right side of the house. I mean, in the photo you can't exactly tell if it's supposed to be a driveway, but I'm pretty sure it is. I've never really done a driveway in my builds before, but I think that it made the house look super kind of luxurious and grand, despite the fact that it is on a kind of smaller lot, I guess. So I thought that was really cool. I didn't put any cars in the driveway because there are no cars in the photo, but if you do want to download this house, feel free to size up one of the cars and put it there, and it'd make it look a lot more realistic. But this episode, I definitely struggled with the budget a lot more than I have in past episodes. I'm not really sure why. Maybe because the items I was choosing were a little bit more on the expensive side. Yeah, I think you'll definitely see later on in the episode me kind of struggling with money and kind of having to delete stuff so I can buy other things, but that's definitely the challenge and the fun that comes with a budget, is really having to, budget your money and sacrifice some things. So I still think that it turned out exactly how I wanted it to turn out in the end, but yeah, today's episode was a little bit more tight in terms of budget. I think one of the main reasons is I like to spend a lot on landscaping, because usually in the photos there isn't a ton of landscaping, but I like to add a lot more landscaping in my recreation than there is in the actual photo. And landscaping, you guys, it can get pretty expensive. It can get pretty expensive if you want to pile on all those flowers. But I never want to sacrifice landscaping, you guys, because I definitely think it's one of those things that really contributes to the curb appeal of a house. It's really important to have good landscaping, especially in a game like The Sims, where putting in landscaping makes the house look 10 times more realistic. So I always want to allocate a good chunk of my budget towards landscaping. So for the interior, I did fully floor plan it for you guys on camera, and I also did furnish the entire thing. So I just did it super, super quickly this time, and I actually used some of the rooms that I have actually built in the past and past speed builds and just plunked them into this build just to save time, because you know that this series isn't focused around furnishing and interior decorating. It's just focused on the exterior, so I just wanted to really quickly fill the bedrooms and stuff like that. So I just used some of my existing bedrooms that I've already built for you guys. So you guys might actually recognize some of the bedrooms that you see me place down in these houses, because I've actually used them in past builds. But the reason I do that is actually for the people on the gallery, because I think a lot of the people who download my houses on the gallery don't actually watch my YouTube videos, so they might download one of my houses and not know it's part of like a YouTube series, and they're gonna be like, why did she not furnish this? Because she always furnishes her houses. So I just wanted to make sure that they are fully furnished when I put them up there. But when you guys do download them, you always have that option of downloading them as unfurnished, so that's also an option. But I do want to give a super quick shout out to one of my beautiful subscribers, Jordan Schneider. They are using my house from last week's episode. So from Curb Appeal episode 3, I recreated this super cute white farmhouse that I found on Pinterest. And they tweeted me that they were using that house for their family, and they made some changes on the inside to better fit their family's needs and showed some photos and stuff. And I thought that was super, super cool. I love looking at your guys' photos. It made me so happy that someone was using my builds for the purpose that I intended it to be for, and I really do want you guys to download the houses and kind of make them into your own. That's why I don't want to put too much emphasis on the interior, is because I want you guys to kind of make it your own and put your own family's furniture in it. And if you guys do download and use my houses for your family, I would love to see them. So definitely tweet me and tag me in them on Twitter. I love looking at them. I always like to retweet them as well. So yeah, definitely if you are doing that and you are enjoying my houses, let me know. Let a girl know, okay? Because I don't have a ton of time to be playing in the houses myself, so it makes me really happy when I see other people are using them. And if you tweet me and let me know that you're using one of my houses, maybe next video you can get a little cheeky shout out as well. So thank you, Jordan, for always loving and supporting my videos and also loving my builds on the gallery. Thank you very, very much. But you guys, let's not drag this intro on for too long. I feel like I say that every single episode, don't I? I'm always like, I don't want to drag this intro on for too long, but I end up doing that anyways. It's just inevitable. I always drag my intros on. So I feel like I should just stop talking right now. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I hope you enjoyed today's recreation. Hey guys, how's it going? So as you guys can see, we're pretty much done the exterior now. I'm pretty much running out of money, so we did manage to keep it within budget and completely recreate the exterior with only 20,000 simoleons. And then right after this, you're gonna see me start to do the interior. So as per usual, going forward, I am going to floor plan them out for you. So I'm gonna include the footage of me floor planning it, because a lot of you guys did request that I include that and kind of walk you guys through my thought process on how I floor plan, because I think floor planning can be a little bit difficult sometimes as well. So I kept the bottom floor fairly open concept because that's how I usually like to decorate, and I think it's a little bit easier that way. And then upstairs I have the bedrooms. So I did manage to make this into a 3-bathroom and 2-bedroom home. So pretty good that we were able to get 3 bathrooms in here. There are 2 upstairs and then 1 on the main floor. So as you can see, I always start with the stair placement. So I did talk about staircase placement in the last episode, but general rule of thumb, a good place to put the staircase is kind of in the middle of the home, so you can easily divide up the right side and the left side. And then also a good place to put the staircase is near the entrance, because that's kind of natural when you walk into a home and you can kind of see the staircase going upstairs. So that's kind of what I did here. Another tip on staircase placement is to be mindful of where it's going to end up on the second floor, if you guys know what I mean. So when you place the staircase down, when you go up to the second level, is there like awkward spacing on either side of the staircase? Or does it line up against the wall of the second floor nicely? So as you can see in this build, I was able to get the staircase right up against the wall on the second floor. So when you go to the second floor, there's no wasted space because the staircase is pushed up right against the wall. So that's also something that you want to be mindful of to make sure that you are maximizing your floor planning space on the second level as well. So I hope that kind of helps you guys out a bit in terms of how to floor plan. I know I kind of repeated myself from last episode, but I think that sometimes you do have to see these tips in action multiple times before you can really get the hang of it and do it in your own builds as well. And yeah, now I'm just furnishing the bottom floor, so don't really pay too much attention to the furnishing of this because I didn't clutter it up as much as I want to. I just did it super, super quickly. And yeah, I didn't really put in a ton of effort design-wise into it. I just wanted to put the basics, throw a bunch of skill-building activities in there, just so when people do download the house, it is a fully functioning house. I mean, I think it still looks nice, don't get me wrong. The color scheme is quite pleasant looking, and the floor planning is all there. It's just not to the standard of clutter and creativeness, I guess, that I would usually put into my builds. But yeah, this series is exteriors, not interiors, so this is the best I can do, I guess. But yeah, by the time this video goes up, I will actually be kind of on vacation, which is kind of cool. It's a long weekend here in Canada because it's Canada Day. So yeah, I am taking a nice weekend trip up with my friends, and I'll be on vacation, so I definitely had to pre-record this and make sure that I had the video done before I left. So yeah, I hope that you guys are having a good weekend as well. I mean, for most of you guys, it's probably just a regular Monday and you guys don't have a holiday today, but for me, it's a holiday, in Canada at least. So if you're Canadian, happy Canada Day, long weekend. And if you're American, it's almost 4th of July, I guess, so happy 4th of July to you almost. And for the rest of the world, I guess just happy Monday. So I think that next week's episode, I'm going to do a Curb Appeal with the new season's expansion pack. So that'll be cool. I hope you guys are looking forward to that. I am looking forward to building a little bit more with the pack. I did a collab with some of my best YouTube friends last Monday, so that was a little bit of a different video, so go feel free to check that out if you want. We each built a house in a different season, so the collab is with my good friends Thomas TV, Emmy Sims, and Chloe Sims. So Thomas built a house in autumn, Emily built a house in the winter, and Chloe built a house in the summer, and I built my house in the spring. So you can kind of see the difference of all the seasons and how houses will look different depending on which season you're in. So it's a super cool collab that kind of showcases all the different seasons and the features of each season. So if you guys don't own the new pack yet, but you're interested in that kind of thing, you should definitely check out all of our videos because we all kind of specialized in one season. So we really showcase that well. So I hope you guys check out that video and also check out all of my friends' videos. They are all linked in last week's video. Well, that concludes episode 4 of Curb Appeal. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what you saw today, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below what you thought about it. And if this is our first time meeting, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to be friends or if you want to see more weekly Sims 4 recreation videos. I upload these videos once per week at the same time every week, so I will see you guys all next week. Bye, everybody!